Anna stood at the front gate of the old mansion with a folded paper in her hand. The paper showed her name as the new owner. The iron gate was cold and heavy, covered in rust, but it opened without much effort. The mansion stood tall behind it, silent and still, like it had been waiting for someone. Trees surrounded the house, their branches stretching close to the windows as if trying to look inside. The house once belonged to a family that had disappeared many years ago. No one knew exactly when they left or why. The town people spoke about it only when necessary. Some said the family moved away quietly. Others believed they wanted to forget their past. No proof was ever found. Over time, people stopped asking questions. The house was left alone, untouched, and slowly forgotten. Anna had heard the stories before she bought it. The agent told her everything in a careful voice, as if expecting her to change her mind. But Anna did not. She needed a place far from noise, far from memories she wanted to leave behind. The mansion was affordable only because no one wanted it. That made it perfect for her. She pushed the front door open. It made a soft sound, not loud or angry, just tired. Dust filled the air, but the house did not smell old. It smelled clean, like it had been cared for. Sunlight entered through tall windows, lighting the large hall. A long table stood in the center with chairs placed neatly around it. A clock hung on the wall, stopped at a single time. Anna walked slowly, her footsteps echoing. She expected broken things, empty rooms, or signs of damage. Instead, everything was in place. The sofa still had cushions. Books filled the shelves. A coat hung near the stairs. It felt like someone had stepped out for a short walk and never returned. She moved into the kitchen. Plates were stacked carefully. Cups were clean. A bowl sat on the counter, empty but polished. Anna felt a strange calm. This was not a house left in fear or panic. This was a house left with care. Anna had lived alone for many years. She worked as a writer, creating short stories for small magazines. Her life had been quiet, but also lonely. She wanted space to think, to breathe, and to begin again. This mansion offered more than space. It offered silence, and silence was something she valued. She climbed the stairs, holding the railing. Family photos lined the wall. A man, a woman, and 2 children smiled back at her. They looked happy, relaxed, and close. Anna paused in front of one picture where the family stood in front of the same mansion, smiling proudly. It made her chest feel tight. This was not a broken family. This was not a sad home. Upstairs, the bedrooms were clean. Beds were made. Curtains were drawn halfway, allowing light inside. Anna placed her bag down in the smallest room. She chose it because it felt warm, not because it was small. From the window, she could see the town in the distance. As evening came, the mansion grew quieter. The sounds of birds outside slowly faded. Anna sat in the living room with a cup of tea she had brought with her. The clock on the wall remained still. She thought about fixing it, but something stopped her. The stopped time felt meaningful, like a marker of an important moment. That night, Anna slept lightly. Every sound caught her attention. The wind moved the trees. The house made soft sounds as it adjusted to the night. Still, she did not feel afraid. Instead, she felt watched over, not by something dark, but by memories. In the morning, sunlight filled the house. Anna woke early and decided to explore the mansion more carefully. She opened drawers, checked cabinets, and looked through old papers left behind. Most were normal. Bills, notes, lists, and letters. Nothing seemed strange at first. Then she noticed a calendar hanging near the study room. Several dates were marked. Small notes were written next to them. Meetings. Family plans. A trip that never happened. The marks stopped suddenly. No warning. No final note. Anna touched the page gently. She wondered what made the family stop everything at once. Why leave all this behind? Why not return? Outside, a neighbor stood near the fence, watching the mansion. Anna stepped out and greeted him. He looked surprised to see her. "You moved in," he said slowly. "Yes," Anna replied with a small smile. He nodded but did not smile back. "That house has been quiet for a long time. Do you know what happened to the family?" Anna asked. He shook his head. "No one really knows. They were kind people, kept to themselves. One day, they were just gone." "Did anyone look for them?" Anna asked. "At first, yes," he said. "Later, people moved on." The man walked away, leaving Anna standing there with more questions than answers. Back inside, Anna felt a growing pull toward the house. It was not just a building. It was a story that had paused, waiting to continue. She did not know yet that her life was about to change. She only knew one thing. Buying this mansion was not a simple choice. It was the beginning of something much larger than she imagined. The second morning in the mansion felt different to Anna. The house no longer felt like a place she was visiting. It felt like a place that was slowly accepting her. Sunlight moved across the floor as the hours passed, showing shapes and patterns on the walls. The air was quiet, yet full, like the house was holding many untold stories. Anna decided to clean room by room. She believed cleaning helped her understand a place better. She started with the study. The desk was wide and heavy, made of dark wood. Papers were stacked in neat piles. A pen rested beside an open notebook. The last written sentence ended in the middle of a thought. Anna felt uneasy. Whoever wrote it did not plan to stop. She placed the notebook back exactly where it was. She did not want to disturb the order. The family had left things as they wanted them to be. That respect felt important. As she dusted the shelves, she noticed many books about history, science, and travel. Notes were written in the margins. This family loved learning. They believed in understanding the world, not running from it. Anna felt closer to them with every page she touched. In the hallway, she found a small table with a bowl of keys. Each key had a small tag. Garden shed. Storage room. Back gate. One key had no label. Anna picked it up and turned it in her hand. It was old and slightly bent. She placed it in her pocket without thinking. Later, she moved to the dining room. The long table still had a cloth spread across it. Candles stood on each side. The chairs were pushed in neatly. It looked ready for a family dinner that never happened. Anna imagined laughter filling the room, voices sharing stories of their day. The silence felt heavier there. In the kitchen, she opened the cabinets. Everything was clean and organized. Spices were arranged by size. Tools hung on hooks. A small note was stuck near the window. It read, "Remember to water the plants every morning." The plants near the window were dry now, their leaves pale and tired. Anna watered them gently, feeling like she was finishing a task left undone. Outside, the garden was overgrown. Paths were hidden under tall grass. Stone benches were covered in leaves. Yet the layout showed care. Flowers had once been planted with purpose. Anna spent hours trimming and clearing, sweat on her brow, dirt on her hands. It felt good. The garden slowly showed its shape again. As she worked, memories that were not hers seemed to surface. She imagined the children running along the paths. She imagined the parents sitting on the bench, talking quietly. These thoughts came without effort. The house was sharing them. In the afternoon, Anna explored the storage rooms. Old boxes were stacked against the walls. Most were filled with books, clothes, and simple household items. Nothing valuable in the usual sense. No gold, no expensive items. That made her wonder. If the family left, they did not leave in a hurry, yet they took nothing important with them. Why? In one box, she found a collection of letters tied with a ribbon. The letters were not sealed. They were written to each other. Simple notes about daily life. Reminders. Apologies. Encouraging words. Anna read only one before placing them back. It felt too personal. That evening, Anna sat by the fireplace. She did not light it, but she felt warmth anyway. The walls reflected the fading light. She took out the unlabeled key from her pocket and placed it on the table in front of her. She had not seen a lock that matched it yet. Her mind returned to the calendar she had seen the day before. The sudden stop. The missing ending. People do not leave like that without reason. She believed the family had planned something important. Not a mistake. Not an accident. That night, Anna dreamed of doors. Long hallways with doors on each side. Some were open. Some were closed. One door stood at the end, plain and quiet. She woke before she could reach it. The next day, she went to the local library. The librarian, an older woman with kind eyes, recognized the mansion when Anna mentioned it. "That house holds many memories," the woman said. "Do you know the family?" Anna asked. "I knew them a little," she replied. "They were private, but thoughtful. They asked many questions. Always learning." "Did they say anything before they left?" Anna asked. The librarian shook her head. "Only that some journeys are not meant to be explained." That answer stayed with Anna as she returned home. Back in the mansion, she walked through the halls slowly. She listened. The house creaked softly, like it was breathing. She noticed something she had missed before. One section of the hallway wall sounded hollow when she tapped it lightly. Her heart beat faster, but she stayed calm. She did not break the wall. She simply marked the spot in her mind. That evening, Anna wrote in her own notebook. She wrote about the house, the family, and the feeling of being guided rather than led. She realized she was no longer just living in the mansion. She was becoming part of its story. As night fell, the wind moved through the trees again. The house made its soft sounds. Anna sat by the window, looking at the dark sky. She felt certain now. The mansion remembered its past. And soon, it would ask her to understand it. The morning air felt cooler inside the mansion. Anna woke with a strong feeling that the house was ready to reveal something. She remembered the hollow sound she had heard behind the hallway wall. That thought stayed with her as she made a simple breakfast and walked through the house. She returned to the hallway and tapped the wall again. The sound was still there, clear and empty. Anna did not rush. She searched nearby and noticed a tall wooden shelf filled with old books. The shelf looked heavier than needed and stood slightly away from the wall. When she pushed it gently, it moved. Behind the shelf was a narrow door. It had no handle, only a small keyhole. Anna felt her breath slow. She reached into her pocket and took out the unlabeled key. Her hand shook slightly as she placed it into the lock. The key fit perfectly. The door opened without a sound. Inside was a small room, lit by a single high window. Dust floated in the air, glowing softly in the light. Shelves lined the walls, filled with boxes, folders, and journals. A small table stood in the center with a lamp and a stack of papers neatly placed. Anna stepped inside and closed the door behind her. The room felt different from the rest of the house. It felt protected, like it was meant to be hidden, not forgotten. She picked up the top journal from the table. The cover was plain, but the pages inside were filled with careful writing. The words were calm and thoughtful. The writer spoke about daily life, but also about responsibility and choice. There was no fear in the writing, only purpose. The journals belonged to the parents. They wrote together, sharing thoughts and decisions. They spoke about learning something important, something that could help many people if used wisely. They also wrote about the danger of sharing it too quickly. Not danger in a violent way, but danger in misunderstanding. Anna read slowly, respecting each word. The family had discovered knowledge through years of study and travel. It was not an object or a secret formula. It was understanding. A way of thinking that encouraged patience, fairness, and balance. They believed the world was not ready to accept it yet. On one shelf, Anna found drawings made by the children. The drawings showed places they had visited and people they had met. There were smiles in every picture. The children were part of the journey, not left behind or ignored. Another folder held letters written to future readers. The family explained their choice to leave. They wanted to protect their ideas until the right person found them. Someone who would listen, not rush, and not seek attention. Anna felt overwhelmed, not with fear, but with honor. She had not forced her way into this room. She had waited. She had listened to the house. That mattered. As the hours passed, she read more. The family believed the mansion itself was a test. They left it filled with order and care to see who would treat it with respect. Someone careless would never find the room. Someone patient might. Near the bottom of a box, Anna found a final letter. It was addressed simply to the one who finds this. Her hands trembled as she opened it. The letter thanked her for her time and care. It explained that the family chose a life of quiet work elsewhere. They did not disappear. They stepped away. They trusted that one day, someone would continue what they started. Anna closed the letter and sat in silence. The house felt still, but not empty. She understood now. The family had changed everything by leaving. And now, they were asking her to decide what came next. She did not feel pressure. She felt trust. Anna spent the rest of the day organizing the room. She did not remove anything. She cleaned gently, opened the window slightly, and let fresh air in. The dust settled. The room felt alive again. That evening, she cooked a simple meal and ate at the long dining table. For the first time, the silence felt peaceful, not heavy. The stopped clock on the wall no longer bothered her. Time here moved differently. Before bed, Anna wrote in her notebook. She wrote about the hidden room, the family, and the meaning of responsibility. She realized her life before the mansion had been about survival. Now, it was about purpose. As she lay in bed, she thought about the future. She would not share the journals yet. She would study them, understand them fully. The family trusted her, and she would not fail them. Outside, the wind moved gently through the trees. Inside, the mansion rested. The hidden room was no longer waiting. It had been found by the right person. Anna closed her eyes, knowing that her life, like the family's, had taken a new direction. And this time, it was guided by patience, care, and a promise to protect what truly mattered. Days passed quietly after Anna discovered the hidden room. She did not rush into anything. Each morning, she opened the small door, sat at the table, and read a few pages. She treated the room like a place of respect, not curiosity. The mansion seemed to respond to her calm behavior. The air felt lighter. The silence felt kind. Anna began to understand the family more clearly. They were not running away. They were stepping back to protect something gentle and meaningful. Their journals spoke about how knowledge, when shared too fast or with the wrong intention, could lose its value. They believed real change needed patience and the right heart. Anna followed her daily routine. She cleaned the house, worked in the garden, and wrote during the evenings. But her thoughts were deeper now. She often stopped while reading, looking out the window, wondering if she was truly ready for this responsibility. One afternoon, Anna noticed a locked cabinet inside the hidden room. She had not opened it before. It was small and simple, with another keyhole. She searched the room carefully and found a small envelope taped under the table. Inside was a thin key and a short note. The note read, "Open this only when you understand why we left." Anna did not open the cabinet that day. She placed the key back into the envelope and waited. That evening, she walked through the town. She listened to people talk. They spoke about daily worries, about speed, about wanting more and more. She saw tired faces and rushed steps. She understood then why the family had stepped away. They wanted their ideas to grow slowly, not be used carelessly. The next morning, Anna returned to the hidden room. She felt steady. She took the key and opened the cabinet. Inside were several carefully written guides. They were not rules, but reflections. They spoke about building communities based on trust, listening before speaking, and learning before acting. The ideas were simple, yet powerful. They focused on human behavior, not control. Anna felt tears fill her eyes. The family had not left behind something to impress the world. They left behind something to heal it, quietly. As she continued reading, she found a final message. It explained that the mansion itself was meant to become a place of sharing, but only when the time was right. Not a place of crowds, but of small gatherings. Not of fame, but of learning. Anna sat back and breathed deeply. The choice was now hers. She could keep everything hidden and live quietly, or she could slowly bring the mansion back to life, following the family's vision. She chose the second path. The work began slowly. Anna repaired broken steps and cleaned unused rooms. She opened the windows and let light into spaces that had been dark for years. She did not change the heart of the house. She only helped it breathe again. She invited the librarian first. They sat in the garden and talked for hours. Anna did not explain everything. She shared ideas gently. The librarian listened carefully and nodded. Soon, others visited. A teacher, a gardener, a writer. Each came one at a time. Each listened. Each left changed in small ways. The mansion was no longer abandoned, but it was still quiet. Laughter returned softly. Thoughtful conversations filled the rooms. No signs were placed outside. No announcements were made. At night, Anna often stood in the hallway near the hidden door. She felt grateful. She felt guided. The family's absence no longer felt like loss. It felt like trust passed forward. One evening, Anna noticed the old clock in the living room had started ticking again. She had not fixed it. It simply began to move on its own. The sound was gentle and steady. Anna smiled. Time had started again in the mansion. She wrote a letter and placed it in the hidden room. It was not addressed to anyone specific. It was a promise. She promised to protect the ideas, to share them slowly, and to always choose care over attention. As the season changed, the mansion stood brighter on the hill. Not because it was loud or famous, but because it was alive with purpose. Anna understood now that the family had not disappeared. They had planted something that would grow in the right hands. And she was ready to carry it forward. The mansion had changed, but it did not lose its calm. Anna noticed this clearly as months passed. The house now welcomed quiet footsteps, soft voices, and thoughtful pauses. People came and went, but no one stayed too long. The mansion remained a place of reflection, not distraction. Anna no longer felt alone. Yet she also never felt crowded. Each visitor arrived with curiosity and left with understanding. They shared meals, ideas, and silence. The garden bloomed again, flowers standing tall where weeds once ruled. Birds returned, filling the mornings with gentle sound. One afternoon, Anna sat in the study, reading through the last journal she had not yet opened. It belonged to the children. Their writing was simple, full of wonder. They spoke about learning from others, about kindness, and about hope. They believed the future belonged to those who listened. At the end of the journal was a short message. It thanked Anna for finding their home. It wished her strength and patience. The children believed she would know what to do when the time came. Anna closed the book slowly. She felt a deep sense of peace. The journey was not about discovery anymore. It was about continuity. She decided to open the mansion once a week for small learning gatherings. No signs. No advertisements. People came by invitation only. They sat in circles, shared stories, and learned from one another. There were no teachers or students, only listeners. The town slowly noticed a change. People who visited the mansion became calmer. They spoke with care. They helped others more often. Small acts of kindness began to spread, quiet but steady. The neighbor who once watched the mansion from the fence returned one evening. He stood at the gate again, But this time, Anna invited him in. They walked through the garden together. "This place feels different," he said. "It remembers how it should be used," Anna replied. He nodded, understanding without needing more words. Years passed, and the mansion aged gracefully. Anna wrote a book, not about the family or the hidden room, but about patience and quiet change. She did not mention the mansion by name. Those who needed the message found it. The hidden room remained protected. Its door was opened only when necessary. Anna added her own writings to the shelves, continuing the story. The family's journal stayed at the heart of it, unchanged. One morning, Anna found a letter slipped under the front door. There was no name on it. Inside, only a single line was written. "We see what you have done. Thank you." Anna held the letter close. She did not need to know who sent it. She already understood. As she looked around the mansion, she realized that what changed everything was not what was inside the house. It was what the house taught her. To slow down. To listen. To act with care. The mansion was no longer a mystery. It was a living lesson. Anna continued her days with gratitude. The family's choice to leave had shaped her future. And her choice to stay had shaped many others. The house on the hill stood quietly, watching the world change in small, meaningful ways. And the story did not end there. It lived on in every person who walked through its doors and carried its message forward.